So this is part 2 of today's lesson, and I'm just going to review a few things that that you saw in the earlier video, and then I'm going to go through a couple examples just showing you what it looks like. So just to refresh, when you do the order of operations, there is this order of 4 steps that you have to follow. There is this little like phrase that you can use to remember, and it's called "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally," and the please comes from the P, and then excuse, and then my dear, and then in the end, it's Aunt Sally. And this just is a little memory trick to help you remember this is the step. So in step 1, you have to do anything that's in parentheses. So when I look at this expression over here at the right, the only thing that's in parentheses is 2 times 3. So I'm going to solve that first. So on the next line, I'm going to copy down everything from the line above, and then at that spot, I'm going to write in the answer. So copying down 24 divided by, solve that part, get a 6, plus 3 to the 3rd power minus 7 times 2. So everything gets copied down in the second line. And once I did that 2 times 3, I am done with step 1 and parentheses are finished. And then it's please excuse, or the E for exponents. Exponents is always the second thing that you do. So when I look in this line, I have 3 to the 3rd power. So I'm going to do that next. Copying down everything else. When I get to 3 to the 3rd power, that's 3 times 3, which is 9. And then I have to do another 3. 9 times 3 is 27. So 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3 is 27. So there's my answer of 27, and continue copying everything down. As soon as I solve 3 to the 3rd power, exponents are finished. Then, important part from the video, hopefully you heard it, but anytime you have multiplication and division, they're tied in importance. So you do them in order from left to right. So if the first thing you see is division, you do that first. If the first thing you see is multiplication going left to right, you do that first. So it could really be dear my instead of my dear, because they're interchangeable. So when I look at this line, I have division. When I look from left to right, I see division before I see multiplication. So I'm going to do division first. I'm going to solve it, copy everything down. Then I'm going to do the multiplication part and solve it, copying everything down. My lines are getting smaller and smaller as I continue to copy things down and solve. Once I have all the multiplication and division done from left to right, then I go adding and subtracting from left to right. So it could be subtracting before adding. It just depends on what I see first. And in my line, I have addition and then I have subtraction. So I'm going to do the addition first, solve it. Then I'm going to do the subtraction, solve it. And once I've finished adding and subtracting, my whole problem should be solved and I get my answer of 17. Okay, so let's look at a couple more things. So looking at question number 1 here, what would I do first? Well, I have addition and I have division. So according to PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, there's the order: first, second, third, fourth. I'm always going to do division before addition. Okay, so I'm going to do, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do the division first. Looking at the second one, I don't have any parentheses. I don't have any exponents. I have multiplication. I have division. I go left to right for multiplication and division. So I'm going to do 5 times 2 first. And in question 3, I have parentheses. So I'm going to do the parentheses first. And in my fourth one, I have 2 sets of parentheses. So what do? It's the same kind of rule. You're going to go left to right. So you're going to do the parenthesis on the left before you do the parenthesis on the right. Okay, let's solve a couple expressions here. We're going to simplify. So if simplify means solve. So according to PEMDAS, parentheses first, there aren't any. Exponents second, there aren't any. So I'm going to do multiplication division from left to right. So going left to right, first thing I see is 7 times 6. So I'm going to copy down 3 plus. I'm going to solve 7 times 6 is 42. Copy down everything else. I'm not finished with multiplication division because I still have division there. So I'm going to copy down 3 plus. I'm going to solve this. I'm going to use my calculator and I get 14 minus 4. Copying down minus 4. Done with multiplication division. So now I'm adding and subtracting from left to right. First thing I see is 3 plus 14, which is 17. Copy down minus 4 and then solve. Final answer is 13. Okay, next one. According to the rules, parentheses is first. So I'm going to do this parentheses and I'm going to get 11. I'm going to copy down everything else. There are no exponents, so multiplication, division. The only thing I have is 14 minus 2, so copy down 11 plus 7 plus 6. Done with multiplication, division. Adding and subtracting is left. There's only adding, so 18 plus 6, and then 18 plus 6 is 24. Okay, next one, parentheses. We have two sets of parentheses, so we're going to do the one on the left first, so I get 7 times, and then 3 plus 5. So then I am going to do 3 plus 5 second, because I can't move on to my parentheses, so 7 plus 8. Parentheses done, no exponents. The only thing left is multiplication and division, and I'm finished at step 3. Okay, last one. This is something new. Notice how the 3 is smashed up against the parenthesis. And what that means is when you smash a number up against a set of parentheses, that's multiplication. So when we solve this, we're going to do parentheses first. So 6 plus 2 is 8. When I copy this down, I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to put a times symbol in there because there's no more parentheses to smash it up against. So 3 times 8 minus 12 times 2. Parentheses done. There are no exponents. Is there multiplication, division? Oh, yes, there's multiplication. So we're going to go left to right. So 24 minus 12 times 2. Finish my multiplication. 24 minus 12 times 2 is 24. Multiplication, division done. The only thing left is subtraction, and I get a final answer of 0. Okay, so that is the end of my examples. Your assignment for today is going to be to do a riddle page, which you're going to find in your stapled packet. It should be the 5th page back. It looks like this. Here's a bigger view of it. It looks like this. You're going to solve those questions, and then you're going to go into Google Classroom, and you're going to type in your answers into the Google Slides assignment that is listed in Classroom. Okay, if you have any questions, please send me an email.